Good morning. Waiting for you guys to come in. Come on in here. We need to talk. I am fired up and ready to go this morning. Waiting for you guys to come in. Come on in. We have some things to discuss. Come on. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you guys for coming on in. Come on in. This is for the real this morning. This is for my warriors, people who are not afraid. Come on in. Come on in. I'm about to talk that talk today. So good morning. So I am an early riser. And I was up this morning reading, just preparing for the day. And as I was reading, people are always sending me news articles, helping to keep me informed with what's going on around the country and organizing so that we continue to have our finger on the pulse of what's happening right now, right? So I want to chime in on this whole Amazon issue that's happening right now and how this is amazingly a big deal, right? So Amazon is a superpower when it comes to how they have positioned themselves in leading when it comes to their industry with online shopping and marketing and everything else, right? But we have some Amazon centers in New York, and during COVID, Chris Smalls, and I'm going to say his name, and I want everybody to continue to say this man's name. Chris Smalls helped to organize the Amazon workers due to the fact that they were not given PPE, right? And they were coming to work positive with COVID. They weren't giving them the time off. It was just a whole mess over there, right? So this young man organized these workers, got this situation on a national stage, so much so to Jeff Bezos has now resigned as the CEO of Amazon. Why is this a tremendous deal, right? Amazon now, Jeff Bezos resigned during a time when Amazon workers are organizing throughout the country to unionize, to become a union, to form a union, right? So, So Jeff Bezos is Chris Smalls organized these people right now, and they are now organizing and forming and fighting to organize their workforce, right? And so what's happening is it's reverberating everywhere. It's reverberating everywhere because this is, since the formation of unions, nothing has happened this big in a long time, right? So their win is going to be huge, and it's going to send out a message to all private companies that they too can be unionized, right? So right now they're in the midst of a vote. The vote is, the workers are voting right now. As of March 29th is when the vote will be finalized, right? And then in April, they're going to give the results of whether or not Amazon now will have unionized employees who will be governed under a collective bargaining agreement and that they would have to now adhere to. So Jeff Bezos stepped down as CEO. But I also want you to help you guys to understand why the executive board is so important. The executive board is the supreme governing body not only of our local 100, but of all unions, businesses as well. Whatever the executive board decides becomes the practice of what happens in that company or organization. That is how powerful the executive board. When I was in college, I served on the executive board and the college council. That's where all of the laws and rules that govern the institution or the company comes from, right? So when you're thinking about running for the executive board, I need my strongest people on the executive board, the people who are fearless, the people who speak up. Do not come to be on the executive board if you're not really interested in protecting the local, right? So Jeff Bezos steps down as CEO of Amazon, but secures him a seat on the executive board of the company. Why is this major? His resignation from CEO to the executive board means he still has a say in what happens in the company, right? What he wants to happen can happen because he's on the executive board. And the executive board is the seat of power. I was having a discussion with a journalist. His wife is an attorney, and they're big on unions and they're in unions. And he was explaining to me that the things that me and him were discussing about the power of the executive board, that his wife complains about it all the time. The executive board is extremely important in how things happen, right? So that's one issue. Also, I want us to look at something right now. In the headlines, I just read an article. It's about 2 days old in the Post, stating that Rudy Crew, who was the president of Medgar Evers College, just immediately quit. He resigned. He's no longer the president of Medgar Evers College. Why is this huge, right? I was there at the time when they brought in Rudy Crew. Rudy Crew never wanted to be the president of Medgar Evers College. He was brought in by the people who actually submitted, well, he submitted his resume too, because you have to do it. But he was brought in by the establishment. So the CUNY Board of Trustees, along with the political establishment in Brooklyn, decided that Rudy Crew would be the president of Medgar Evers College because they needed, understand something. When people start making appointments and saying, we appoint this one, we appoint that one, the person who they are appointing is usually someone who they can control. The appointment or the appointee, the person that is being appointed, is usually someone that can be controlled. Whenever you see big establishment parties getting behind people and saying, oh, we back this person, we're with them, and everything else, most times, and I would dare to even say all times, right? They are appointing people who they can control, which will adversely impact the people in the communities which these people serve. Same thing in the union, right? We see appointments happening all over the place in our union. So Rudy Crew was appointed. Even though he went through the process like everybody else, he was appointed. When he came in and he interviewed with the students, we didn't like him. We rejected him immediately. I was a part of one of the students who sat through the interview process of interviewing Rudy Crew, and we did not want him, right? However, we only were a part of the vote. We were not the majority vote, right? So the establishment and the power brokers at large, the CUNY Board of Trustees, and the Brooklyn electeds said they wanted Rudy Crew, so we had to take him. Rudy Crew came in and on his watch, right, started to undo how the whole structure of the union, of the college and everything was organized, right? Reducing the student voice, changing how things were governed, bringing in his own people, paying them huge, exuberant salaries and everything to basically discontinue the work that we were already doing. Now, some good things happened on his watch too. However, when it comes to the financial stability of Medgar Evers College at this moment, it is broken. They have fired some of the best professors ever at Medgar Evers College, forced them to resign, forced the best people who were coming on board to revitalize and move that college into the future, gone, right? So although some good things have happened, what the state that college is in right now is in dire need of real leadership, and we have to get behind those students and the professors and the faculty and to put and to watch who are the CUNY Board of Trustees going to put there now and the Brooklyn electeds, okay? They have a huge say in who leads that college forward, and usually they put people there according to their interests, not what's in the best interest of the people. So I just needed to update you guys on some current events that's happening in New York City right now, within politics, in the educational arena, and in unions, right? And so back to our union, Local 100. I want you guys to know that I am on fire right now, right? I am definitely on fire. I am definitely set ablaze. I had an event yesterday, and it was a small event because we're still in the midst of COVID. So I could only invite out a few people to come. And so my team and I invited out a few people to come, but the energy was electric. I was very energized by the people who showed up. The questions they asked, the things that they talked about showed me that my organizing efforts, I'm going in the right direction. And I just want you guys to be very, very encouraged. I want all the people that everybody rejects. I want the people who they told you, no, you can't lead. I want the people who have been fighting behind the scenes and working tirelessly to advance this local forward to come to the forefront. I reject the establishment. I reject anybody who is trying to orchestrate another carbon copy of the Yatano administration under a different guise, under a different name, saying that they are trying to do something different, because they are not. Understand, when you come to me, do not come to me trying to broker these deals for yourself. You're gonna leave sad. I cannot be bought. I am the daughter of Shirley Chisholm, unbought and unbossed. Let me just say that one more time. I am unbought and unbossed. I am here solely for the advancement, reorganization, and the unification of TW Local 100. The protection of our collective bargaining agreement, what we have left of a collective bargaining agreement that has been decimated under the Atano Samuelson administration and those who were their co-conspirators to ensure that this happened. Whether you were conscious of it or not, you were complicit, right? Everybody knows what they're doing at the end of the day. And people are always talking to me about, be careful about being infiltrated. Trust me when I tell you, I know everybody who is around me. Everybody. It may seem like I'm out to lunch, if that's what you want to call it, but trust me, I am very aware. All you have to do is study history, and you see how infiltration happens, how it occurs, right? I want to give you guys, I know everybody's watching this movie with the Black Panthers right now. I'm forgetting the name because my mind is somewhere else, but I just want to highlight something. During the Black Panther regime, right, while they were ruling and forming and organizing and everything else, there was a Japanese guy that reached out to him named Ayeko. It's known that he was an informant. He was a government informant who infiltrated the Black Panther Party. He was responsible for giving them their guns and everything else. Nobody ever questioned where this man came from. Yes, Judas and the Black Messiah. Nobody ever questioned where this Japanese individual, Ayeko, came from, right? He infiltrated the Black Panther Party. He was the one that was giving them guns. He was the one that was arming them and helping them to get all of the ammunition and everything that they needed, right? And so we have to be careful when people start to come and they come bearing things, gifts, resources, and everything else. You pay attention to stuff like that, right? Pay attention to who sent them. You have to look at their background, see who they are, who their affiliations are. Right? This is not only for me, this is for everybody on here that's doing freedom work, right? You have to understand that you will always have people infiltrated. While we were in the midst of the meeting yesterday, there was a guy that walked in who we identified and knew that he wasn't one of us, right? We knew he wasn't one of us. We knew he was an op, but we let him sit there. It was too much for him. He lasted 10 minutes and he ran out, right? But those things are always going to occur. So you who are leaders always have to be aware of who's in your presence, who's in your environment, and pay attention to what people do. Pay attention to what people do. Now, I'm a person that leads with trust. I don't, if we're working together, whatever, I'm going to give you all of the room to be free and to do whatever you want, right? If you're eliminated, it's because you eliminated yourself. Because I believe in empowerment. I believe in leading with love. I believe with leading with understanding, with compassion, with empathy. But at the end of the day, make no mistake, I am a lioness. I am a fighter. There's nothing weak about me. I understand that I'm in the midst of a campaign. I'm in the midst of a war. So understand that I know when I'm moving and how I'm moving, right? I have some real generals behind me. Real generals behind me. You guys are going to see in the days to come, this is not a game. This is a fight for our livelihood. This is a fight for organized labor to continue to exist. This is about our ability to exist. Transit is trying to make us at-will workers. You guys really need to, well, when you come out and you're dealing with me, you're going to get an education because I'm going to talk about all of this stuff. I'm going to give you stuff to read. I'm going to show you videos. You are going to be informed, right? You're going to understand why I can fight. Understand that everything that you see me doing is on the inside of me. Nobody has to prompt me to get up and go do a shop gate. Nobody has to prompt me to turn on my camera to do a video. This is on the inside of me. What's in me is what makes me go. So I want you guys to really understand that I am a fighter. Nothing about me is scared of anything. Anybody that's going to build anything, you first have to count the cost to see if you can do it, can you endure to the end, and how are you going to go about it. This is extremely, extremely serious undertaking. The word campaign is related to war. This is a war we in. Transit, we're not fighting with guns, but understand, right? It's still a battle. You know who transit shooters are? They're attorneys that they have lined up. You know who they send to infiltrate us? Those who are our own in the midst of us, right? The people who are hungry, the people who make statements that, oh, I'm hungry, I'm hurting right now, financially I'm hurting. Those are the people that can be bought. Those are the people that can be bought. I'm telling you, the only people that can be bought, listen to what people are saying. When they start talking about they hungry, they need money, they need this, they need that. And I want you to understand, I'm going to expose the plan of the enemy so you guys can understand what's getting ready to happen. I'm building a team, Stronger Together. Evangeline Byars for president of TW Local 100. Paulie Navarro is building a team, Progressive Change. The person who's the mastermind behind the Progressive Change regime is a guy named Mike Cordero. Why is this extremely important? Paulie Navarro never wanted to run for president of Local 100. It was Mike Cordero who told him that he needs to be president, that the union needs a Hispanic, right? So to divide us, Mike Cordero's plan is to put Paulie Navarro there to secure the Hispanic vote in the union. And with this is his way of how they're going to make it through, right? So they look through the different departments to see who is there, and this is what they felt was their tactic and strategy to come in and take over the union. However, these men have no plan. They've never negotiated any contracts for Local 100. On their watch, so much has happened to undermine our local. It's disgusting. They have talked consistently about what they lost, which was nothing, and stepping down to take on the endeavor to begin to run for the local. So let me tell you the type of man that Mike Cordero is, right? This is what he's going to do. Once he realized that, oh, Evangeline was able to pull it off, that I have a full team, and that we're ready, and that there's going to be a battle for this union, and that the war is really on, the fire is lit, the shooters are out, everybody's moving, they're going to go back to Tony Atano, and they're going to make a deal for themselves, right? Because if that third arm is able to persist, that means that we can't move. We can't do nothing, right? So understand, as they begin to become keenly aware that this woman, who they thought was a joke, who would not be able to organize a union of 46,000 people, has did it, and she not playing, and the people behind her are not playing, they're going to go back to Tony Atano, because this is what they've done in the past. That's how they knocked off Toussaint, right? These were all Toussaint's people. Pay attention to history. These were the people who knocked off Roger Toussaint, brought in Samuelson, who started the destruction of the local, right? And then to bring us Tony Atano to finish it off. So I want you guys to understand what is at stake. That's what these men are going to do. They are men of low degree, no conscience, no substance. Mike Cordero was fired from the local for stealing, for doing underhand deals. Fired. And Roger Toussaint had pity on him and got him a job in CED. So that's how he becomes a CTA, right? Got him a job in CED, in car equipment, and that's how he came back into even being an employee of transit, because he was fired. So Mike Cordero is a disgusting man. He's a man of low degree, no character at all. At all. He will not persist. And I'm telling you, that's what they're going to do, because that's what they've done in the past. That's what they do all the time. They run, act like they're going to do something. When they see they can't win, they go and join the opposition secretly while still acting like they're for us, like they're with us. Coming around, shaking your hand, giving you fake promises. Mike Cordero is so ignorant, he doesn't even know that we can't have contract negotiators. He wrote all this stuff up for Paulie Navarro and orchestrated this ignorance and is sharing it to you guys and don't know what he's talking about. So I want you to understand, we are in the midst of a war, right? We have opposition forces on both sides, on the progressive change side and the Stand United side. But in both factions, there are members who are there who do want to do some good for the union, right? These people do want to do some good, but they're just in the wrong place. So it's our job as those who understand that to work on them, to encourage them, to come out from amongst them, right? To come out from amongst them. And I want you guys, and I'm going to keep talking about this Mike Cordero. I'm going to keep talking about this Mike Cordero because nobody sees him. He's not on Facebook. He's nowhere. I'm going to post his picture. I want you guys to see who this slimy person is and what he's about, right? He's about his own belly. Because I'm telling you, we are in the month of, well, we're getting ready to go into March tomorrow. Tomorrow, it's March 1st. Tomorrow we're going to be entering the month of March. We are 2 months in already into this campaign, and I'm telling you the fire is lit. The embers are burning. It's happening. Right? We already have a full team. We will be announcing shortly. However, there's no rush. There's no rush. We're still in the organizing and unifying phase of everything. You will see who everybody is shortly. But I want you to understand that this Mike Cordero is a problem. He is a problem. He is the person pushing Paulie Navarro to run for president. He doesn't want it. Paulie Navarro don't want to be president. You could tell just by his movements. No fire, no passion, no conviction, no understanding, nothing. Nothing. So we who know better and know where we want to go as far as it pertains to our future, we got to be on point. We're in the midst of a war. It's already started. The campaign is already on. Evangeline Byars, Stronger Together 2021. I have real men and women behind me. Real men and women behind me. You, in the days to come, you guys will see, right? And I'm not only on Facebook. I'm saying this to you guys who watch me on Facebook. But the people who are in the union, they know I'm always everywhere. Whatever, but I talk like that for the people who don't get to see me often, or who are following me, because people are watching who are not members of TW Local 100, right? You can influence your family members and friends to pay attention and to listen to what's going on. So I'm talking to everybody. I'm talking to everybody, and I'm hoping that you guys are also understanding this from the position of organized labor in New York City is under attack. Period. 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 Cuomo is under investigation right now for all of the stuff that he's doing. He is the biggest union buster ever. Biggest union buster ever. So you guys be encouraged. Share this video. If you want to join my campaign, you can call this number. I'm going to put the number, and you can also email me. Trust me, I am very much relatable and open. You can, if you see me, you can approach me. You can ask me any questions. I will never disrespect you. I will never belittle you. If you want to criticize me, I'm open to criticism because I also learn from my critics, right? There's lessons everywhere to be learned. My job and my prayer is that God endows me with the wisdom that I need for this endeavor to move us forward. This is serious. When I watch videos of Michael Quill, 28 days this man lived after he was languishing in prison to secure us a collective bargaining agreement that is being given away by the current administration. I have been called to this. I have a mandate on my life to ensure that this union continues. People like myself have been able to provide for their family, to do all type of things financially, to secure myself and my future that I could not attain in the private sector. Because the protections are not there. The compensation is not there. Okay? So organized labor has to be defended. Has to be defended. Our livelihoods are dependent on it. So I want you guys to just be encouraged. I'm excited. I am energized. I hope you guys are catching my spirit. You know, we were talking yesterday about the stations department. And somebody asked me, you know, what did I think about the stations department? What could be done in the stations department, right? And so my answer to them was, I had to explain to them, how did the stations department get to where it is at this point? One, the union bringing in contracted labor. Two, the union allowing the city to allow wet workers, which this is no slight at wet workers, but this is talking about how unions are supposed to function and operate. Everybody needs access to work and employment. I'm not knocking that, but I'm talking about how they have broken the system in the stations department when it comes to different parts of the stations department. Bringing in wet workers, bringing in contractors, contracting our work, allowing people to be, when people are retiring, not bringing in new employees, not hiring from the civil service list. All of these methods and means is how we get to where the station department. But the biggest one was Anthony Byford. The biggest blow to stations was Byford. Let me tell you why. Byford was responsible for breaking the union in Canada, which is why Cuomo brought him over here, right? Because he wants to break TW Local 100. That's the whole reason behind labor relations, you know, overly disciplined, disciplining us and coming for our job by any means necessary is because that's what it was created for. The Office of Labor Relations was created to bust unions, to break unions down, right? And so he brings in Anthony Byford. Byford appears to us to be this man who is like for the workers, right? He says stuff like, you guys are good employees, you know, those good hardworking train operators, they're doing an excellent job, they're speeding up the subways and they're doing all of these things. Yeah, we're doing all of this stuff. You know, he comes down to labor relations, looks around, sees everybody's there, makes a little statement about, you know, discipline and everything else, although he does nothing to stop it. But he talks about it. He does one thing in RTO now with this thing where if you were operating your train at optimal whatever it is, I forget what it is right now off the top of my head, you wouldn't be disciplined for it if you were found to be operating your train and speeding up the system for on-time delivery, right? Working all into the plan of Cuomo and everything else. But Byford realized early on he could not break TW Local 100. New York is a union state. He would have to go through too much. He was defeated. He couldn't do it. So what did he do? What he was hired for, however, he brings in Omni. He brings in contractors. In RTO, he goes with this whole optimization of the system, upgrading the system, putting all of the signals and stuff and moving ahead with all of the work. Everything is happening quick. Modernization of the system, new trains, everything is moving, right? While everything is moving, the union is stagnant and silent and sitting there and not preparing for the assault that's gonna come from this happening. Right? So once Omni's in place and all of the things are in place and everything else, they begin, Byford makes his exit. However, he is the person that was behind Omni. What is Omni gonna do? Eliminate station agents. What is more contractors on the property doing cleaning gonna do? Eliminate cleaners. How is this to our benefit? It's not. So the work that we have to do is to get these contractors off of our work, that the work has to become exclusive to TW Local 100 again, and we have to really fight for the stations department and what has happened. The people who have been there and have been in these positions leading you guys, they were all a part of it. They've been all a part of it for so long. They've upheld these past two administrations of Samuelson and Yatano. So all that we're dealing with, all that we're faced with, comes from the legacy of Samuelson and Yatano putting these things in place, and this is what we're up against. This is what we're fighting against. But Byford, the person who you guys don't know the history of this man was a union buster. My desire to talk with Anthony Byford was never ever once because I wanted to be his friend or anything else, but to help him to understand the state and condition of our union. That was it. However, other people had other plans. Anthony Byford is not our friend. What he did was also complicit in the undoing of our local and another hit to us. He could not do to us what they did in Canada because New York is a union state, that's all. So we'll take his, telling us that we're a good person and everything else. Yes, thank you, Mr. Byford, for mentioning us in the board meetings or whatever, his little soundbite that he would get or whatever to make it seem like he was on our side so that we could keep moving these trains so that his record could look like he did a good job. So when he's leaving to go somewhere else, he can look at and say, look, while I was over at MTA, New York City Transit, the service delivery time was up. Employee morale has started to turn around a little bit with me being there, right? So he had to do something so that he didn't leave with a blight on his record leaving here. And now, after he put all of this stuff in motion, we get hit with COVID to try to finish us off. This is why it's imperative that we fight. This is why it's imperative that we organize. This is why. And I always and another thing to to Mapstoa, you guys making a lot of money over there. You're making a lot of money over there, but your jobs are on the line. And the people who are keeping you fed are the ones that have done it. And guess what? If this union is broken, that little 150,000 y'all seeing, 130,000 y'all seeing every year is gonna go out the window. It's not gonna be there anymore. You'll be sitting on the outside, laid off, waiting for an opportunity to come back, if that ever occurs. So understand, pay attention when people are throwing things at you and trying to make you feel like they're doing you a favor. It's something behind it. There's a way to make sure that you are prospering in your job title, and be honest. These men are getting all type of stuff behind the scenes. They're securing things for themselves. A lot of them have already made declarations that if it doesn't work out for them in the union, they're going on the management side. It's time to clean house. It's time to clean house, and you guys have the ability, you have the power. Your vote is the power to get rid of them. So I hope this video was very, very informative. Again, my name is Evangeline Byars. I am the candidate for president of TW Local 100. I am a general. I am not here to play. I did not take this on without first looking at the lay of the land to see if I could even take it. Nobody goes to war to lose. Okay? Understand. Listen to my language. I understand what I am in the midst of. Right? I understand what is going on. I understand what we are up against. And I want you guys to understand that, catch my fire and my energy. I'm not scared of nothing. And even if I get a little fearful sometime, I ask myself, fear is an illusion. It's false evidence appearing real. The battle is won in your mind first. In my mind, I am the president of TW Local 100 already. And my first order of business is to unify and organize my local, and to make sure that my members are on one accord, that we're all moving together. You're gonna start to see and catch it. That means that if something happens in an MOW, like when the gentleman fell to his death and Tony Itano blamed it on his size, right? It shouldn't have only been MOW workers there. It should have been train operators. And there should have been bus operators. There should have been the whole union should have turned out for this young man. The fact that he was working on tracks that were unsafe, that they knew were unsafe, that they did not repair, and that man fell to his death. When it comes to safety, everything can stop. And we have to make this a top priority, that when things of this magnitude happen, we begin to turn out all together. So my biggest job right now is getting us to understand that we are one. We're not a separate entity. And so by doing that, that's how we're going to be able to win this, right? We have to all be together, all have to be at one, as one, in order to win. So you guys be encouraged, and I hope to all of the people that are being stirred up now, inbox me. My phone number is 917-932-5482. Call me. Reach out to me. Inbox me. If you see me sitting around in the crew room, walk up to me. You guys know usually I'm more talkative. The reason why I haven't been talking around the crew rooms and stuff when I'm on the clock is because if I'm saying things, they'll say, oh, she's campaigning while she's at work. They'll try to use anything to knock me off, right? So I have to be wise. It's not that, I'm saying one thing on when I'm online, and when you see me at work, I'm quiet. No, I'm quiet now at work and not talking about campaigning and stuff, because if I talk about it while I'm at work, it's a violation of the rules for campaigning, right? You can't campaign while you're at work. And some of the things that you guys would ask me and that I would have to get into, it sort of crosses the line, it teeters the line. However, when I come into your location and I'm off the clock, all bets is off. Ask me whatever you want, and I want you guys to want to run. Step up. Stop letting people tell you you can't run. Stop letting people tell you you need some 50,000 years of experience before you can lead. Leaders lead. Leaders lead. You wake up one day, you realize something needs to be done, and you step in and you start doing the work. You learn as you go. The more hungry you are, the more you eat. The more you consume the literature, the bylaws, the contract. You reach out to people. I have a whole bunch of retirees that I talk to on a daily basis, understanding the contract, the contractual agreements. Who were the players who gave this back? How do we lose our health benefit trust? Who was behind the sale of our property? Why did they sell it? Where's the money? I talk about these things every day, all day, constantly talking to retirees. I have to understand the history of what happened and who was responsible for all of this stuff. Why did it happen? Who did it? Because then that stuff angers me. It fuels me. It agitates me. It's what makes me go. Because we should not be in the state and condition that we're in right now. I'm supposed to come into this job and be, getting acclimated to being here, working, providing for my family, adhering to the rules and regulations, but benefiting from everything that was already won for me. Our contract has been so decimated, it's just unconscionable that people can say that they're union-loving, toting members and that they're for organized labor, and on their watch, they negotiated this stuff. And let me help you to dispel another myth about contracts and contractual agreements and bargaining. That you got to give something to get something. That's a lie. You don't have to give nothing. You're in power. We have the power. That's our contract that we fought and won. We don't have to give them nothing back. They can ask for whatever they want. No, you're not getting it. So I want you guys to just understand, where I'm at and what I'm talking about and why I'm going so hard, right? I'm going so hard because our livelihood's at stake. We are at the point where we could wake up one day and hear an announcement on the news that TWU Local 100 has been broken. They're now at-will workers. This would affect us tremendously. We would have no job protection. We would be at the behest and at the will of our employer. Look what they do to us with a contract, with rules that govern grievance and discipline, and how you administer discipline to employees. How they take our jobs from us and try to put us up for dismissal all the time, right? For anything, and you got to fight. Imagine being an at-will worker. We'll be in a position that Amazon is fighting to come out of. So we need to be going forward, not backward. So again, I don't want to be too long because people don't watch hour-long videos. I think I'm probably up to about 30 minutes now. I hope you guys are getting it. Catch the fire. Be energized, being engaged. I'm going to be out in the field more and more. I'm here from now all the way to the end of this election. I will be in the field. You will see me daily. Daily. You are my people. You are who I'm fighting for. So you need to know me, see me, catch my energy, know my name, Evangeline Byars for president. You need to know who's going to be leading you. You need to size me up yourself. Ask me hard questions. Question me, test me, see if I can do it. Put me to the test. I'm not coming with prepared speeches. What I am coming with is armed with the truth. I'm coming armed with the truth. I'm coming armed with getting you together. Don't sit and complain to me because I don't listen to complaints. I'm here for solutions. Complain. I hear the complaint. Now, what are we going to do about it? Are you joining this movement? Are you a part of the 45,000, the 46,000 that are going to turn this around? I'm not coming for a segment of the membership. I'm coming for the whole thing, all 46,000. We're going to turn out a vote in Local 100 like Stacey Abrams turned out Georgia. Is that imperative? Is that imperative? When I come around, I'll have change of address forms. Fill out your address. walk it into the union hall, take the name of the person who you gave your information, keep a copy of it, write the date on, because we're not playing with them this election. There will be no voter suppression. This election will not be stolen. It will not be stolen. I'm saying it again, it will not be stolen. You're gonna make sure your dues are paid. You're gonna have the number of AAA now. Now. I'm not delegating this. This is not up for delegation. I'm not giving somebody this to take care of. This is my agenda. Make sure that you're registered to vote, that your name is your name and address and everything is updated. You gave them the you go into 195. You got to make it your business to do it. Go and walk it in. No emailing, nothing. Nothing. This is a movement. We're not playing. We're not playing. We taking this. So you're gonna walk in your address to make sure it's updated. If you need to bring charges against somebody for whatever reason, please inbox me, because the union is not gonna help you. That's another story, but I just had to throw that in. But make sure you walk in it. Make sure your dues are paid. If you have any gaps, you got to request and ask for forgiveness for it. You got to make 6 meetings. 6 meetings. If you're listening to this video and you want to run for office, you have to have 6 meetings, especially if you're seeking to be the chair of a department, the VP of a department. You got to have meetings. Don't come telling me you want to run and you ain't attend no meetings, because you can't. You have disqualified yourself from not being able to participate in this election if you are not attending meetings. You got to get 6. 6. Everybody has to have 6. And when you go, make sure you notate the day that you attended the meeting. Who are the people leading the meeting? Take a picture with your phone of the attendance sheet to show that you were there. This is serious. We are in a fight for our very existence to continue to be a union. We are in a horrible place in the history of TW Local 100. This is not a game. So I need you guys to see what's happening and then be prepared. We are not reactionary on this side. I don't walk around defending anything. I'm always on the offensive. You're not going to catch me defending nothing. I'm always going to be hitting. So I want you guys to have that same type of mindset and that same type of energy. So how do you find yourself offending Tony Atano? Go and update your email. Go and update your address. Go and update your address. You want to show him that you're not playing with him? You want to show him that you're going to hold him accountable for the 147 people who died on his watch? That he did not hold the MTA accountable? That he did not move fast enough? That he went missing in the early days of the pandemic while everybody was out fighting and getting sick and handing out PPE and doing what we had to do to stay alive? They were missing, not taking our phone calls. Nobody knew where the hell they was at. You want to show him that you're holding him accountable? Go update your address at 195 Montague Street. Make sure your address is correct. Make sure your dues are paid. If you have any gaps, especially for the people who've been out on workers' compensation, make sure you clear that up. Ask for forgiveness. It has to be granted to you because you were out on workers' comp. And we know that when you first go out on comp, you don't get paid immediately. And it causes you to go to not be able to pay your dues. So you got to catch all of that up. And we have to do it early. This is not going to be a situation when September comes, you decide you want to do something and you can't do it because it's the last minute, right? They're not going to forgive it then. You have to do it from now. So we're not playing. And now, one thing I didn't talk about is giving. In order for me to be able to do this campaign, I want you guys to know that I have a campaign headquarters, right? This is not something that I'm doing from my apartment. If you see the backdrop behind me, I'll let you guys see. This is an office space that I rent in order to be able to organize and effectively put this operation underway. I have an office, has conference rooms, it has to be paid for monthly. Website has to be paid for to be hosted and to run. All of the papers to make copies for paper and everything else, I have to pay for that. I need you guys to donate, to give. You will see where your money is going. Every month as you guys give into the campaign, I will let you know how much we have in our account. You will see what the money is going towards, how it's being spent. I will always be transparent with you guys, but I need you guys to give. I need you guys to support. You can go right to my website, Evangeline-Byars.com. There's a donate button there. Just click on the donate button and you can give any amount you want. The donation amounts, I follow the practice of the Campaign Finance Board, the rules that govern elections for the city of New York. I adopted that to make sure that I'm in compliance when you guys are giving, right? So when you give, it captures your name. I use Stripe, the same process that they use in the city, in the state, to collect donations. I use that so that your information is secure, that myself and nobody else has access to it. That you give, when you give, it goes. I just get a receipt saying that you give. I do not get your personal information, your bank card numbers or anything like that. I didn't use that, right? The donation amounts follow the Campaign Finance Board's recommendation of how much you should donate. So the donation amounts start off at $25, $50, $75, $100, and then it goes up to $175, right? And then if you want to give other than that, there's a space at the bottom that says other. You can click on that if you want to give more. You can give as much as you want. So I want you to give and do the work. So don't think that you giving me money is enough. I don't just need your money. I also need you to be a part of this movement and everything else. But I need you guys to donate to the campaign. The more well-financed we are, it gives me the ability to bring you a better quality of information, for us to be able to pay for our media coverage and to pay for paid advertisements so that the rest of the members who may not be on Facebook or whatever, they can also get our message, so that we can have, so that people can hear us, that they can see what is happening at Local 100, right? And then people can, our outside supporters can begin to join on and support and help to carry our message even further. We have supporters in the Long Island Railroad, and Amtrak. We have a lot of people supporting the campaign in Amtrak and the Long Island Railroad. And it's only gonna get bigger and better, right? We're still in the early days. This summer, this fall, this winter is going to be amazing. It is going to be absolutely amazing. And I want you guys to make sure that you're helping me to be able to do this. I cannot continue to finance this initiative without your help. I pay for the office space right now. I pay for the phone, the campaign phone line, so where you guys are sending me information or call in to say you want to join. All of that stuff right now, I am personally financing. However, I cannot continue to personally finance the campaign. The amounts are growing of what it is. When we want to do events and spaces, you have to pay for that. Everything has a cost. So I need you guys to give. Again, the website to donate through is Evangeline-Byars.com. I'll put it in the comments when I finish so you guys can have it. Or if anybody knows the web can post right now while I'm speaking, if you can go and post the website, Evangeline-Byars.com, so as I'm talking about it, people can get it. So I need you guys to go ahead on and click donate as little or as much as you want. You can donate weekly, monthly. You can continue to donate as much as you want, right? You can donate as little or as much as you would like. I'm not telling you what to give. I'm just telling you to give, right? My suggested donation amount is $100 per person. If each person gives $100, we will have more than enough to complete this to finance this campaign, right? I want you guys to understand something. The medium is the message, right? Right now we live in a digital age. We live in a digital age. People receive their information through what is put out to them in the media. Most of the time, that's where they get their information from. A lot of you guys have learned about me and learned who I am and have started following me just for me doing Facebook posts, right? So I need to be as sharp as I possibly can in order to continue to get this message out. I need people to come in and help me to be able to cut up video, to be able to edit things. They charge for that. I don't know how to do it. If you can volunteer and help with that, it's more than welcome. But people charge for those services. That's not free. So I need you guys to understand that we live in a digital age. How we learn about everybody, think about it. In any campaign that's happening, how do you know who's gonna run? It's announced to you on the news. Then you start to pay attention to who the candidates are and why and what they're doing, what their work is. So that same thing that is happening is the same thing that's gonna happen to us, and I need to be at the forefront of this and you guys to understand that this is how we're gonna take it. Everybody being engaged and organized and informed. So I went over again, but this message that I'm giving this morning is highly important. You guys needed to hear this this morning. My spirit was stirred. I've been up since 5 a.m., reading and preparing for the week. And as I'm, preparing for the week and getting ready, so many things I was reading and seeing. I'm like, no, I need to make a video. I need to encourage you guys and keep us at the forefront. Trust me, I am going to annihilate our competition. There's nobody running against me that could even debate me. They can't even do a simple debate. You guys been asking for it for the longest. No debate yet. So we are going to take this. We are going to take it. And so you guys be encouraged. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for all of your support. And I'll be in touch shortly. If you see me in the field, talk to me. Ask me questions, tough questions. If you feel that you want me to change something, or, me doing town halls and implementing town halls came from a member seeing me do a shop gate at Church Avenue and said to me, why don't you do a town hall so that all of the members can question you and ask you questions? Instead of you just talking to us, why don't you give us the ability to ask you questions? And I implemented it, and it was an excellent idea. And my town hall was amazing last month. If you think last month was amazing, next week, we going in. Questions, answers, whatever it is you want to say, no, do, whatever. As the city opens up and we're able to do more, I'm definitely going to do things more in public where you guys can come out, because energy is electric. You got to be in the room, right? You got to be in the room. If anybody's been in the room on a shop gate with me, trust me, you leave electrified, right? My frequency is on 1,000. So I want you guys to be very much encouraged. I'm not concerned about opposition, because anybody that comes around me, if you are a part of the enlightened ones, if you are a part of the people that want to be free, if you are the part of the people that are no nonsense, if you are a liberator, there's no way you could be around me and not catch the energy. You're going to catch it. So I'll see you guys in the field. We had an excellent meeting yesterday, and I will definitely be with you guys shortly. You're going to see me in the field. I'll be out all week. I'll let you know. No, I can't announce where I'm going to be, because if I announce when I'm going to be there, it'll cause all type of confusion. But you definitely will know I was there, and I'll take footage so you guys can start to see that I'm out and know what's going on, and you can be engaged. If you want me to come to your depot, if you want me to come to your terminal, If you want me to, just hit me up and let me know when you'll be there, and I will make it there. So you guys be encouraged, stay informed, stay engaged. Remember, unify and organization is my sole purpose of this. Well, it's not my sole purpose, but this is the vehicle and the method and the strategy that I'm using to bring us together, to unify and to organize us, right? What is our mantra? Educate, agitate, organize. Educate, agitate, and organize. Nobody can take what you know from you. Once it's in you, it cannot be taken from you. What you know is what makes you go. What you know is what makes you go. What you know is what makes you go. What's on the inside of you is what comes out of you. So understand that I am very, very, very aware of what it is that we're doing and what it is that I need you guys to do to support me. So thank you guys for tuning in. I know it's Sunday morning, but this is God's work. This is God's work. Anytime you're working to help those who are the least among you, those who don't have the capacity to take care or to really do it for themselves, when you put yourself out on the front lines to do this type of work, this is freedom work. This is God's work. This is what God has called us to do. He calls you to go out and get them, not wait for them to come to you. So me lending my gifting, my ability, my time, my energy to this is God's work. This is God's work. So you guys be encouraged. Inbox me about Gleason's Depot. I'll definitely be the Gleason this week. So inbox me your information and we'll connect for Gleason. So thank you all and have a great day. If you want to ask me any questions in the comment, just post them and I'll answer them. So have a good day. Thank you again.